And at Triton Field here at UCSD, it is the San Marcos Lady Knights going against the La Costa Canyon Mavericks. I'm Greg Porter, and my color commentator is Clint.
Going against the San Marcos Knights, ranked number 6 in Division I this year, against the La Costa Lady Mavericks, ranked number 1. Our first batter for the Mavericks, Miss Simpson.
Amanda Simpson, a freshman, are actually wearing 99, and she's a sophomore, and she goes ahead and fouls that pitch away for strike 2. 1 ball and 2 strikes. 1 ball and 2 strikes here in the top half of the first inning. Our Lady Mavericks. And the next pitch is a ball, so now it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Jessica Jenkins ready and comes to the plate, deals. This one's a slow roller. Picked up nicely and thrown to first in time. And there's 1 gone for the Lady Mavericks here in the top half of the first inning. Nice little defensive play there by the Lady Knights on the right side. And here's number 4, Jessica Hartley. Hartley, the senior, playing shortstop, and the first pitch is a strike. No balls and 2 strikes, the count to Hartley.
Jessica Jenkins, the San Marcos pitcher, had a record-setting 332 strikeouts last season, setting the 3rd highest in a year for a high school pitcher.
And this one is slapped just over the third base bag, and that's a base hit for Jessica Hartley, and the Lady Mavericks have their first base runner of the contest with 1 out, and it'll send it to bat the senior, the pitcher, Kristen Dennis. And timeout is called as the catcher wanting to go and talk to Jessica Jenkins. Amy Dent has a couple of words for her. And they want to make sure that they've got the signals right. Don't want to get crossed up with a runner at first base. Here's a ground ball to third base and thrown just in time as the tag is applied. The runner moves down to second base, but there's 2 down in the inning. Nice throw by Rachel Lancaster. Over to Gutierrez.
Hartley advances to second.
Hartley at second now, and it's going to send it to bat now. Ashley Way, the senior first baseman. Way stepping in from the right side of the plate. And Way, first ball swinging, asking for it to shortstop, and that will retire the side, stranding the runner at second base. So they get a runner down to second, but that's all as they're able to shut down the rest of the inning. And we'll go to the bottom half of the frame. No score yet. Okay, and let's get the defense for the Lady Mavericks. Ashley Way is playing at first base. Around at second is Natalie Heaton. Over at shortstop is Jessica Hartley. And around at third is Amy Matee. Around in right field is Amanda Simpson. In center is Kelly Fleming. And in left is Katie Ashing. The pitcher is Kirsten Dennis. And behind home plate is Jennifer Weaver for the Lady Mavericks. And leading it off for the Lady Knights is Alexis Gutierrez. She's the first baseman and looks at a ball. Actually, they called it a strike, so no balls and one strike to count. No balls and one strike. And the next one is fouled away. A nice high heater there by Kirsten Dennis.
San Marcos up to bat now, triumphed over Carlsbad in 2-0 in the last game, sending them into the CIF Division I Finals.
And that ball is fouled away at home plate, but electing to throw it to first base anyway. Just trying to stay on top of things. The Lady Mavericks, their catcher, Jennifer Weaver, throwing to Ashley Way at first. And a strikeout, and down goes Gutierrez, first batter up for the Knights. And now coming up, second baseman Valerie Spillman. So Valerie Spillman coming up now.
Second baseman Valerie Spillman.
Spillman, the freshman, fouling the first pitch away. No balls and one strike. This one ground down to third, and a nice sharp throw to first base in time to get Spillman. And there's two gone here in the bottom half of the first inning. And this will send up to bat third baseman Rachel Lancaster, the senior, for San Marcos Lady Knights.
Next batter for the Knights, third baseman Rachel Lancaster.
Kirsten Dennis delivers this one, hit to short, a tough play, and it'll roll out into left field as the shortstop cannot handle that one. And so now they have a runner at first base in the Lady Knights. And so now both clubs, Clint, have a base runner aboard in their part of the first inning.
First inning here, rounding out, 2 outs. 0-0 is the tie score. San Marcos versus La Costa. La Costa triumphing 3-1 over Bonita Vista in their last game, sending them into the finals. Second time that La Costa has been to the finals. They were the runner-ups last year for the Division I title.
Now batting for the Knights, catcher
Amy Dent steps in from the right side, the junior, trying to pick up her teammate Lancaster at first base. And at first pitch from Dennis is, or the second pitch is a strike, so now it's 1 ball and 1 strike with 2 down. And the next one is a ball. Now it's 2 balls and 1 strike to count with 2 outs here in the bottom half of the first. Dennis has a sign and comes to the plate, winds up and throws a little bit high, but deciding to take second base is Amy Dent, or rather Lancaster. So Lancaster's at second base on the pass ball. And now both teams, Clint, have a runner that has gotten to second base now here in the first inning.
After a brief conversation with the pitcher, looks like the La Costa Mavericks are ready to go.
Dennis has the sign she wants and delivers a nice low heater. Swung on and missed by Dent. And the count is now full at 3 balls and 2 strikes. 3-2 delivery, swung on and missed for strike 3. So
Goes down swinging.
the Lady Knights strand a runner at second base, as did La Costa Canyon. And at the end of 1 here at Triton Field at UCSD, it's no score. And let's get the defense there for San Marcos. At first base is Alex Gutierrez. At second base is Valerie Spillman. At shortstop is Lacey Kraft. Over at third is Rachel Lancaster. Out in left field is Jackie Jimenez. In center is Crystal Caporaso. And Chrissy Wells is out in right field. Of course, Jessica Jenkins doing the pitching. And Jenkins' pitch is taken deep to center field, but caught there by the center fielder, Crystal Caporaso.
Crystal Caparoso. 1 down. Next up for the Mavericks, center fielder Kelly Fleming.
So Desiree Colo, first ball hitting, and the designated hitter. You like to have that from a designated hitter, drive the ball someplace deep. Of course, right now is Kelly Fleming up to bat, the senior center fielder.
Desiree coming in and leading off the hitting definitely took a ball deep, showing the San Marcos Knights that they're not afraid to hit the ball.
1 ball and 1 strike is the count now, of course, to the batter, Kelly Fleming. And Jenkins' pitch is lifted and caught by the left fielder. Just a couple of steps left in the grass. And nice play there. As
San Marcos outfield really picking up the game, taking care of all the balls hit long.
Third baseman Amy Matee.
well, you know, you like to have the ball hit in the air if you're an offensive club. Of course, with more of a line drive to it, Clint.
Definitely. The La Costa Mavericks are not afraid to hit this great pitcher, Jessica Jenkins. They are taking her deep, however. Jessica's got a great defense backing her up out there in the field.
Matee with a 1-1 count and 2 down here in the top of the second inning for the Lady Mavs. And Matee places the bunt nicely down the third base line, halfway up, and that's a good bunt by Matee. Matee placing, getting that ball down, and of course Rachel Lancaster has to play it halfway up the line, and that's enough room for Matee to get on board.
The first hit for the La Costa Mavericks in the second inning. 2 outs. Definitely don't want to strand that runner on first base. Try to get her around as far as possible into scoring position.
Here's the senior number 00. And the catcher, Jennifer Weaver, and Weaver swings at the first heat and misses of Jessica Jenkins. No balls and 1 strike to count with 2 gone here in the top half of the second inning in this championship game of Division I, ladies high school softball here in San Diego, California.
Both teams showing excellent defense, definitely picking up the slack. A couple of hits going off, but we haven't seen more than 4 batters come up on either team before the 3 outs were nailed.
And a runner has not gone past second base so far early in the contest. This one has popped up. Is there enough room over there on the side? And there is. Nice play. Was that the pitcher that caught that one, or actually it was
Third baseman picked up the speed, ran over there and got that foul ball to bring the San Marcos Knights back up to the plate.
Nice job by Rachel Lancaster. So we'll go down to the bottom half of the second inning, and it's still no score.
1.5. For the Fighting Knights, left field.
And action set to get underway here in the bottom half of the second inning with no score. Jimenez, the batter. Jackie, the junior. No balls and 2 strikes.
Jimenez, a junior on the San Marcos squad.
And she tries to bunt at that pitch. Did not get it. And so she goes down. 3 pitches. And coming up to the plate now is Lacey Kraft. Kraft, the freshman in the lineup. One of only in a starting lineup. One of only 2 that are actually batting out there for this Lady Knight Ball Club.
Kristen Dennis living up to her #1 ranking on the La Costa Canyon Mavericks team with a great pitching game.
No balls and 2 strikes, 1 out. And fouled away as Kraft tries to reach for that pitch on the outside half of the strike zone. No balls and 2 strikes. Sun casting shadows here at Triton Field at UCSD. And that one is a little bit outside. So now it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Always like to get those strikes early in a count if you're a pitcher.
If you can load up those strikes early in the count, it makes it easier, gets the batter a little nervous, and starts them swinging at just about anything so they don't go down looking. A very good strategy played by Dennis.
That one fouled away past the third base coaching area. That extend defense. A little bit outside again, and now it's 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Kraft taking a look at her pitches with 2 balls and 2 strikes on the count. Got to wonder if the coach is telling her to keep an eye on him or if she's going to go ahead and swing away at anything.
And she decides to make contact there, and it goes right back to the pitcher. And over to first base, you score it 1-3, and there is now 2 outs in the inning. Easy slow roller for Dennis.
2 away.
And now coming up is
Next batter for the Fighting Knights, designated hitter.
the designated hitter, Alyssa Manis. They like to call her AJ.
La Costa Mavericks not getting a chance to show off their defense here. Kristen Dennis taking care of things at the mound. San Marcos Knights having a little trouble hitting off of her.
Well, seeing as though Dennis has the capability to throw a number of innings without allowing you to get a hit in her last, the semifinal contest against the Barons of Bonita Vista, in which they won 3-1. She had a no-no for 4 innings. 1-1 delivery is hit to shortstop. A nice little grab there by the shortstop, Jessica Hartley, to retire this side. And San Marcos can't come up with anything in the bottom half of the second, so we'll go to the third. And after 2, there's no score here at Triton Field. And you get a good shot of the field here at Triton Field on the campus of University of California at San Diego. And seen a lot of softball played today. And this being the last game of the Division I final between the Mavericks, the Lady Mavericks, and the Lady Knights. Katie Ashing, the batter, starting it off here in the 3rd inning. And the first pitch to her is a strike. Actually, the scoreboard not working. It's now 2 balls and no strikes. And this one's fouled away. Now it's 2-1. 2-1 to the left fielder, Katie Ashing. No score in the top of the third, and the Lady Mavs trying to see if they can get something going here against a very tough pitcher. Both pitchers outstanding here in this final for Division I of girls high school softball, as that one was fouled away.
San Marcos, beginning at rank number 6 in the CIF Division I rankings, has fought their way up to the title game here at UCSD. A great showing by San Marcos, a club with a lot of heart and a lot of spirit. Glad to see them here out on the field and see what they can do today.
2-2 count. That delivery is low as it comes to home plate on a virtual roll almost. Underhand pitch. That delivery kind of got away from her. Full count, 3-2, and this one is lifted into shallow right field to throw to first, and it's in time. A wonderful play by the left fielder, Jackie Jimenez. Or rather, correction on that. Did I say left field? Chrissy Wells making the nice play on that. Christy showing that she has good range to be able to get the balls that are dropped in front of her.
Wells and Gutierrez combined to form an outstanding textbook play there at first base. Wells coming in from the outfield to pick up the fly ball, getting it to first right at the last moment to get that out.
0-1 to Amanda Simpson, and the first time Amanda Simpson was up, she, what do you got for her the first time she was up, Clint?
Grounded out to first base the first time she was up. She was the leadoff hitter, took Jessica Jenkins right down the first base line. First base picked it up and tagged her out.
0-2 the count now, and the pitcher trying to get it. The shortstop covers and makes an outstanding play. Simpson keeping it in the infield, both trips to the plate in this ball game, and that time it took a great play to get her out.
Jessica Jenkins connecting with Alexis Gutierrez to get that out at first base. This is the second time that Alexis has made an outstanding catch there at first base, just in the nick of time to get that runner out at first.
Boy, you got to be a shortstop on a move to make that play, and she made that one very, very well. Jessica Hartley up to the plate, wearing number 4 on her jersey.
Jessica, first time she was up, grabbed a base hit and then stole second.
Forest green, gold, and navy are the colors for the La Costa Canyon Lady Mavericks, and for the San Marcos Knights, it's navy blue, Columbia blue, and silver. If you hadn't adjusted your color correctly on your screen there.
You know, high school colors on teams are something the players take a lot of pride in. It's nice to see these high schools are definitely so spirited. The fans are great out here. We've got La Costa Canyon's got a couple of fans out there painted in green and gold. There's one right behind us there, taking care of the fan cheering business.
3 balls and 1 strike, and then that one was
Hartley takes first.
ball 4, so Hartley getting the walk.
Now batting for the Mavericks, pitcher Kristen.
And see, Kirsten Dennis is now going to come to the plate, the senior.
Jessica Jenkins taking a little time to get warmed up to that strikeout game that she's famed for. Could be the pressure, could be anything. This is the Division I CIF Finals. There's a lot of pressure on a high school athlete, especially to come this far. Starting out ranked number 6, that's a heck of an achievement. Pressure's on just a little bit, might be affecting her game.
Yes, it could be, as that one was fouled away, trying to protect the runner. Doing a fine job there, Jessica Hartley.
La Costa definitely getting the bat on the ball a little more than San Marcos. Now, I haven't seen so many strikeouts, but more the defensive outs, which is a credit to San Marcos' defense. La Costa, however, still hasn't scored, and the San Marcos Knights are also scoreless here in the top of the third inning.
Dennis fouling that one away in the crowd. A couple of people trying to dodge out of the way of that on-rushing softball.
Softball's nothing to be taken lightly, especially when it's coming down from a height like that.
Ground ball down is short. A nice throw, and just gets Dennis. Good strong throw on that play, and that, again, stops the Mavericks from getting anybody past second base. And we'll go to the bottom half of the third. There's still no score.
For that half of the inning.
Okay, now started off in the bottom half of the third inning for San Marcos is the pitcher, Jessica Jenkins. Jenkins is a senior, and Jenkins, one of the 4 seniors in the starting lineup, wanting to try to get some offense going here.
That last play, getting out of the top of the third inning, San Marcos flexed their defensive muscle once again, with shortstop Lacey Kraft connecting to Alexis Gutierrez at first base. Questionable call going down to first on a force out at second. However, gamble paid off, and they got him out. There was a forced double play. Might have been smarter to go down to second base, but the play worked out.
2 balls and 1 strike to count to Jenkins, and this one is a high rising fastball, swung on and missed. And Jenkins the first time up in the contest, and Jenkins fouls this one. Foul ball just to the left of the first base line. And no score here in the bottom half of the third inning. You've had some very tight ball games in the San Diego CIF Sectionals Championships, and this is another tight one. Popped up, asking for it, number 7, and she makes a nice play. That's Ashley Way, and that is 1 out.
This is the first time we've really seen La Costa have to use their defense. They've been real strong at the mound. Obviously, it goes to show that they can back up with their pitcher throws with their defense. Ashley Way running in on the first baseline to pick up that ball.
Chrissy Wells up at the plate, and Wells swings at that fastball. Cannot connect. No balls and 1 strike to count. Wells, the right fielder, swings and can't get that one. And now there's 2 strikes on her. As Dennis still throwing the heat, still bringing it. Swung out and missed for strike 3, and Wells goes down. And there's 2 quick outs here for San Marcos, the Lady Knights, in the third inning. And in the bottom of the third, you go to the top of the order for the Lady Fighting Knights, and that's Alexis Gutierrez. 3 seniors up in a row in this bottom of the third. Dennis being put to the challenge, and so far she's got the first 2 in this inning in fine fashion. A bunt attempt, and this one is called a foul.
Excellent communication there by La Costa. Good communication between the catcher and the other field players. Catcher lost it there for a moment, but was able to pick it up.
1 ball and 1 strike is the count with 2 down in the bottom of the third inning. Alexis Gutierrez, left-handed batter, and that one was high from Dennis.
Dennis off to Virginia after graduation of her senior year this year. See if she can get out there and play a little softball on the old East Coast.
Going to be an ACC player, huh? 3 balls and 1 strike to count. Gutierrez trying to get aboard here. Dennis trying to put her down. And can't do it as that pitch is inside for ball 4. So Gutierrez will be at first here with 2 outs.
This is the first time that Dennis's pitching has really faltered. Catcher has called a conversation with her out on the mound. San Marcos with 1 person on the base. Gotta do something. At this moment in time, both teams have got to be thinking that every player's got to make something happen out on that field. In a scoreless game coming into the bottom of the 3rd, really important that everybody does their job and makes the plays. Whether you're at bat and you're getting the hit or whether you're out in the field and making the stop, it's got to be done.
And that one was done rather quickly as Valerie Spillman just delivered it right back to Dennis, and Dennis making the catch off the line drive to end the inning and any possible threat. So we'll go to the top of the 4th inning, and it is still nothing for both of these 2 fine high schools, the Lady Mavericks and the Lady Knights. La Costa Mavericks, the Lady Mavericks are up here in the top of the 4th inning, trying to get some offense and some runs on board. Ashley Way, the senior, again, one of the 5 in the starting lineup, and 5 total on the team.
LCC this year is 22-3, taking first place and the first seed in the Division I. Played for the Avocado League, a total of 46-9 in its 2-year existence.
And she goes quickly down on strikes. Again, both pitchers with some fine defense from the hill. Not really a hill out there for softball players, but you get the idea.
Well, it's a circular mound. Pitching that fast pitch underhand, I don't know what's scarier. Watching him wind up or watching that thing zing right past you. Jessica Jenkins really picking up the speed on her pitch and came out great right here in the beginning of the 4th inning.
And this one is hit deep to left field, but left fielder making the play. Doing a fine job, Jackie Jimenez. And there's 2 down.
Again, that San Marcos defensive muscle just outstanding in today's game. That's why you get such a scoreless game, 0-0. Absolutely amazing.
And here comes one of the 5 seniors, Kelly Fleming, the center fielder.
Center fielder, Kelly Fleming.
First time up, Kelly Fleming flied out to right field, and that was a nice play by the right fielder, Chrissy Wells. And there's some heat. Nice pitch there thrown by Jenkins. Fouled back, no balls and 2 strikes to count at the top of the 4th inning. La Costa Canyon. And this one is swung on into right field and caught nicely there by Wells again. So flying out both times was Fleming to Wells. And in this inning, that closes it out with no runs on no hits, no errors, nobody left. We go to the bottom half of the 4th. There's still no score.
Lancaster.
Rachel Lancaster steps in. And Lancaster swinging and missing off of a Dennis pitch. Lancaster can't get that one in the low half of the strike zone. Low and outside. Trying to extend the arms and get to that one, couldn't do it.
Kristen Dennis has got to be a scary pitcher to come up against. She has the CIF record with 80 wins. Just a tremendous pitcher here in Division I softball. Got to be a little nervous as a batter coming up facing somebody with that kind of record. It's got to be a mental game out there.
And it really is, as Jennifer Weaver makes a nice play behind home plate off of that pop-up. And it'll bring up to bat Amy Dent. Dent, a catcher herself, trying to get some offense going here. And fouls this one. Running over there to try to make the play, and just ran out of real estate, was Amy Matee. Did I say Amy Matee? I'm talking about Ashley Way. Got your little mix up there on the corners. First time I've had the opportunity to call a game from the right field, what you would call the right field area, stands.
Out here in the bleachers right field, we're looking right into the sun. A little difficult to see the players, but you know, Greg, with two very strong defensive teams, you get scores that are real low.
And that one was hit hard and trying to get a double out of it, and she does. Number 15, Amy Dent. And Dent hitting it in the power alley between center and left field, and trying to do the best she could with it was Katie Ashing. Just missed being able to get her glove on that ball, but it was hit very well by Amy Dent. And we might have a substitution.
Julie Terwilliger for San Marcos Knights coming out to run for the number 15 Amy Dent. Amy with that nice shot out into center field. Julie looking to run the bases. You know, Greg, this is where it starts off. Getting a runner right there in second base, right in the scoring position. All it's got to do is follow up with a nice hit. One out. The San Marcos Knights are looking safe. They've got time to sit back, get a good hit on the ball, and bring that runner in.
And one of the three juniors who will be back next year, Jackie Jimenez, asked to try and see if she can help to bring this run across. One out.
One thing the Knights certainly don't want to do is leave a runner stranded out there on second base. It's never good to leave a runner out, but it shows that you don't have the bat speed behind her to bring her around.
And Jimenez takes Dennis's pitch and deposits it foul down the third base line. 1 ball and 2 strikes to count. And this one is hit towards center field. Couple of steps and then takes a step back and makes the play. Nice catch there by Kelly Fleming to retire Jimenez. So there are 2 gone here in the 4th inning. And it'll send it to bat Lacey Kraft.
San Marcos Knights really got to bear down now and get that runner in. This is a scoreless ball game. Really great defense by both teams, but if you're going to win a game, you got to do it with your bats. Got to get the runners around and have them touch home plate.
1 strike on Kraft. Kraft, the shortstop, a freshman on this San Marcos club. And in the low half of the strike zone again. Able to do it very well. As usual, Kirsten Dennis. Nothing into the count. Runner at second base, so 2 gone. Took a little bit off of that one, trying to get Kraft to go ahead and take the bait and swing. She didn't decide to do that.
Dennis has certainly been going low on a lot of her pitches, and the San Marcos Knights are really taking the bait.
Popped up, asking for it is Dennis. She has it, and that'll retire the side for San Marcos, and they strand a runner at second base. Couldn't get her around, so it will stay nothing for San Marcos, and nothing yet, of course, for La Costa Canyon.
Amy Dent back in the game at catcher took a brief out after she hit that long ball to center and had a pinch runner come in, but she's back at catcher looking in top form.
Well, the coach for San Marcos, and that one is hit foul down the left field line. Amy Matee trying to do something with that pitch and just missed putting it in play fair. Coach for San Marcos deciding to go with getting his star catcher back in the game, Leonard Gann. He just wanted a pinch runner in that last half of the inning.
One wonders maybe Amy had an injury, something wrong with the knee or something like that. Looks like she's back in. Doesn't look to see any braces or anything like that. No medical attention.
And that one is slammed off the fence over there by third base side. Making good contact, trying to, as they say, back in Little League, straighten it out.
Matee just coming around a little late. She had a base hit early in the second inning. Was one of the first La Costa players out on the bags. Unfortunately, not this time.
Matee going down swinging. One out here in the fifth inning, the top of the fifth. Jennifer Weaver, 0-0 up there at the plate.
Jennifer Weaver is a senior, losing their catcher, La Costa Canyon. Junior Kiara Marino is coming up through the ranks.
Weaver undoubtedly would like to see her 4-year high school career end with a championship. Up there trying to get something started here. 2 balls and 1 strike, 1 out. Weaver with the plastic protection on her helmet. Maybe a prior injury of sorts, but either way, that time a ground out. And there is 2 down. And Katie Ashing will come to the plate.
Kraft at short is connected with Alexis Gutierrez multiple times to get that out at first base. Key in stopping any offensive drive.
Popped up, shortstop, back towards the grass and makes the play. So 3 up and 3 down for the Mavs in the 5th inning. And so San Marcos in the bottom of the frame will come up with the goose egg trying to get something on that scoreboard.
To the bottom of the fifth. Still no score.
And San Marcos up here in the bottom half of the 5th inning as the lights begin to warm up here.
You know, Greg, looking at the rosters, both La Costa and San Marcos are only losing a small percentage of players due to 4-year graduation. Only 4 seniors on La Costa and 5 on San Marcos, looking to come up with a nice young squad to develop over the years.
Alyssa Manis looking over at her coach down the third base line. 1 ball and 2 strikes to count. Facing a right-hander who is very tough for La Costa Canyon, Kirsten Dennis. And the next one is high for ball 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Having a young team coming up through the ranks is key to any good high school program. San Marcos, with the showing here in CIF, is definitely going to make a name for themselves. And with all those young players, they've got a chance to develop them under the program that took them to the CIF Division I finals.
3 balls and 2 strikes to count. Of course, later in the game, you don't want to lose a batter to the walk. Dennis going to bear down on this one. And she gets the pitch and deposits it over the second baseman. The second baseman going out to shallow. Right center field and was not able to make the play. But a nice effort. However, Manis is aboard, the designated hitter. Manis has hit the ball well in this contest.
Fleming and Heaton got a little confused out there. Heaton going way back from second base and Fleming coming in from center. Unfortunately, miscommunication and a drop ball. That hurts, Greg. That puts a runner on base into a scoring position.
And fortunately enough for the Lady Mavericks, that one was a foul ball because that had trouble written all over it. Jenkins trying to help herself out. The pitcher, of course, for San Marcos. And that one is down too low. And a tag applied at first base, and they get Manis. Alyssa Manis got caught wandering off first base. And that is going to be recorded out in this inning.
That kind of preparedness, right when she laid down, got ready to go down to the bunt, everybody in the infield rushed in and was right on top of that ball, just in case she did get a hold of it. Went by her, though, and they caught Manis sleeping at first. Unfortunately for San Marcos, that takes the runner off the base.
And you really hate to see that in the later innings because in a tight ball game, or in this case, a no score, you need every base runner you can get. And that time, it gets erased for San Marcos. And then now you've got a good pitcher that throws strikes and has been throwing strikes, Dennis, and she is able to get her opposition mate, Jessica Jenkins, and so now it's 2 outs.
You know, it's key in any game, any contest to definitely come out and take the early lead. We haven't seen that by either team here. Great defensive playing and a little slow on their bats have led to this stagnant game. Not getting anybody around second, I don't believe. Nobody's been on third yet. Something's got to happen between these two teams to get this out in regulation play.
Chrissy Wells, who's played outstanding defense out there in right field, up there at the plate. And that one was a little bit taken off. Reaching for it, Wells could not get it. 1 ball and 1 strike with 2 gone here in the bottom of the 5th.
San Marcos, though, not showing any fear about hitting Dennis. They're definitely taking cuts at the ball. They just got to make contact.
And they made contact there as Wells deposited in left field for a base hit. A couple of base hits in this inning. As Wells able to answer. And now they go to the top of the order for San Marcos. Number 11, Alexis Gutierrez, their first baseman.
La Costa showing great fundamentals, bringing that ball into Heaton at second base just before the runner could round first. Excellent fundamental ball there.
Dennis before the pitch, making sure that everybody in the infield know that there's 2 down. Go for the easy play to record the second out.
2 outs already. San Marcos has got to make something happen here late in the game.
And that pitch to Gutierrez was a little bit too low.
Weaver constantly looking down the first base runner, making sure she's not leading off and catching him in that force out like they did.
And Gutierrez is able to get a base hit. Just lofting it over second base, or over the shortstop and into left field.
2 outs. Next batter, second base.
So runners on second and first now. Wells down there at second base and Gutierrez at first now for San Marcos. They've got the rally going here, and here's Valerie Spielman. Spielman, the freshman.
With 2 on, Greg, they've got to be looking to turn a run in here. Runner on first, runner on second. Prime position to get him around the bases.
And a late call for a strike. No balls and 1 strike.
That last play, Hartley just couldn't get up to the ball in time. Unfortunately, going overhead and putting that runner on first.
Fouled away at the plate by Spielman. 0-2, so Dennis coming back quickly with 2 strikes. And you just about have to do that, Clint, working against this batter with runners on first and second in a scoreless game.
Dennis has got to be credited with a great damage control. She let a couple of hits get off her, but she's coming back and she's throwing the strikes and she's getting that third batter out. Great damage control, making sure that nobody advances past that second baseline. A great credit to Kristen Dennis's career.
And Dennis, of course, a player that does not want to, as a pitcher, does not want to get that ball in the comfort zone of the batter. And right now, the home plate umpire wanting to go out there and talk to Dennis. And she might just be telling her that you have to watch out with a certain thing out there on the mound, kind of a courtesy call.
You know, whenever an umpire comes out to talk to a pitcher, it's not a good sign. I feel it ruins the pitcher's flow. They get in a zone, they start finding the strike zone and the pitches they like to throw, and you know, an umpire comes out and disrupts. Certainly want to make sure the batter's safe, but I got to question that kind of action by the umpire. You ruin their flow and you take them out of their game.
And then again, she might not have, the home plate umpire might have wanted to call an illegal pitch, but might have gave her a courtesy based on the fact that it wasn't quite what be constituted in the rules as illegal pitch, and you know, borderline, and kind of give her a little bit of a break there as the next pitch being a strike. And now, of course, coming out to talk to Dennis is her battery mate, Jennifer Weaver. Weaver just reminding her of a few things, and their discussion is ended really quick. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Down too low now, and now it's 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah, last few pitches, Greg, Dennis has been quite low in the dirt. That's, I think, why Weaver came out and chatted with her. She's been just a little under the strike zone, and these San Marcos batters have seen that, and they're not swinging at it anymore.
Well, the senior throws one to the freshman, and she gets a hold of it, but foul. And so Spielman trying to stay tough. Boy, it's a dream if you're a freshman to be on the varsity club, and especially to be in a CIF sectional championship game. And Spielman is there, and she bounds one down to short. Shortstop has it and makes the play. Nice solid throw, but it was a bang play as Spielman runs well. However, they cannot move the runner past second base. In the inning does San Marcos, and again, the damage control, as you mentioned, Clint, is done. And we're going to go to the 6th inning with no score still. Okay, here we go to the 6th inning. Number 99, Amanda Simpson, starting it off for the Mavericks.
That last out in the last game, in the last inning there, Hartley connected down to the first baseman Way in a great play. Again, questionable. They didn't take the lead runner. They took the person coming to first. It was a force out at all 3 bases. Costa seems to be enjoying that kind of play. Last time they didn't take the runner at second, but again they took the runner at first. I don't know. Sometimes can be questionable.
Well, I guess you got to go, Clint, with what's got you here, what's comfortable, and they seem to be comfortable with doing that. Not necessarily textbook like you mentioned, but if it keeps them in this tightly contested match, then obviously it's what you need to do. Find a way to win. As Billy Martin used to do for the New York Yankees. 3 balls and 1 strike, and it's ball 4, and Simpson at the top of the order will get the leadoff walk. And she gets the little protective wrap to put around her thigh.
As a defensive team, you definitely don't want to see the leadoff batter walk straight away. That puts a man on base with no outs. That's a contested play. It makes the defense work harder, although with San Marcos on defense, they know they can do it.
Number 4 up there, Jessica Hartley. Hartley, one of the 5 seniors, as mentioned before. The shortstop. Played well in this contest. And Hartley lets that one go as it is high.
Simpson being very cautious there on that first base lead. They ended up picking off a player last time in that play, and San Marcos catcher, Amy Dent, my apologies, Amy Dent's really looking down that line.
And a dead ball call.
Looks like the ball hit the batter, Greg. I didn't see it. Might have tipped off her hand just a little bit.
You know, sometimes, it's one of those things where it hits the body, but it goes off the bat, too. But the one they see is the bat, as it being the first one. Simpson at first base. Cannot leave until the pitch is delivered. And the pitch is low. 3 balls and 1 strike. So Jenkins, who is going to OSU when here in about a month, trying to bear down and see if she can stop this attempt at getting a run here for La Costa Canyon.
Jenkins slowing down a little bit. She had a couple of great innings right there in the middle. Looks like maybe fatigue may be catching up with her. It always comes into play, but seems to be slowing down and not throwing the quality heat that she was in the middle of the game.
However, she was able to sneak one by Hartley on that one, and 1 out. And it'll send up to bat Kirsten Dennis, the pitcher.
One of the few times that La Costa's batters have struck out. Hartley going down there. Last batter was Ashley Way in the 4th inning. Not a very common appearance. La Costa's usually getting the bat on the ball.
And they use the R, and right now Dennis has to try and do something here to keep this rally going.
La Costa's still got that free runner, number 99, Simpson, on base. Got to do something with it. Got to send that girl around the bases to tag home plate. 1 inning left in regulation play. This could be a tight game.
And nobody's going to get that one in the field of play, except for somebody beyond the field of play watching.
Greg, the fans out here today, both for San Marcos and for La Costa, and even all day here at the CIF playoffs, have been great. Lots of support for their teams, lots of team colors out here. It's something we really like to see in high school ball.
Yeah, you really like to see that, and this is a nice facility for them to come and be able to do that. A throw down, and let's see, it's an excellent throw. An excellent throw down to the second baseman, Valerie Spielman, and Spielman is able to apply the tag on Simpson, and that cuts down their lead base runner and the only base runner in the inning, and an opportunity to take the lead.
Amanda Simpson put in jail. Been caught stealing. Great throw down there by Amy Dent. Got off the bag. Looked like it was going to be good, but number 2, Spillman, at second base, really put the tag on.
Oh, anytime you have a good throw like that down to your second baseman covering, that really helps your pitcher. And Jenkins able to just bear down and work on that batter.
San Marcos taking care of that walk batter, that free runner on first base that you're concerned about. Really did well. That's out on that steal was a great play.
Dennis trying to get a hold of the baseball, couldn't do it, fouled it away. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Dennis slaps this one back up the middle for a base hit. So Kirsten Dennis able to get a base hit and get aboard in the 6th inning.
Spillman and Kraft just quite couldn't converge on that ball. It went right over the second base and out into center field. Held the runner to first base, but can't let those kind of things go through. You got to capitalize on every play.
Yeah, you might have called that one a seeing eye single. Ashley Way up there trying to move her teammate around, and the pitcher, Kirsten Dennis, who now is wearing the warm-up jacket, and a lot of stars on her batting helmet, and in this case, a base running helmet. And some heat thrown by Jenkins, swung out and missed, as Way couldn't get a hold of that fastball. Obviously, Jenkins can still bring it. Jenkins takes some off of that pitch and getting around on it, but just fouling it away. At home plate there is Way. Again, a scoreless tie in the 6th inning in the CIF section championship of Division I, and a fastball swung on and missed by Way. And of course they leave Kirsten Dennis at first base, and now we'll go to the bottom of the 6th inning, and there's still no score between these 2 high school outstanding ladies softball teams.
We still have third baseman
Rachel Lancaster will lead it off in the bottom half of the 6th inning for San Marcos. And Lancaster lofts it to short, but being able to make the play is Hartley. 1 gone.
You know, Greg, a credit to the University of California, San Diego staff members here. They've got a great park for softball. The scenery is wonderful. Got some balloons out there in the background. But really, they've been here all day long, really helping out. It's nice to see.
Yeah, it really is. I'd like to thank UCSD for all of their help. The lights beginning to take more of an effect here. And a pitch there by Dennis. A little bit outside and too low. 2 balls and no strikes. Bottom of the 6th frame for San Marcos. Their attempt here in the 6th to try to get a run across.
This game, Greg, has certainly had the makings of an overtime-bound competition. 0-0 in the bottom of the 6th here. Some really, really close games.
And Amy Dent watches that one go outside. Dent in a contest has struck out, and she hit a double in the 4th inning. 1 for 2. And that pitch is down too low, so now Dent will get aboard for the second time in the contest here in the 6th inning. Jackie Jimenez coming up now, a left fielder. Jimenez in a contest. You take a look at her. She struck out in the 2nd inning, and in the 4th inning, she flied out to the, I believe that was a center fielder? Yeah. And this one is thrown down to second base covering. Yeah, it's a slow roller, handled nicely. And 2 down in the inning.
Heaton, nice coverage on the second base there. Costa taking out the lead runner, making sure they don't advance past that second base mark. Greg, nobody has gotten past second base in this contest.
An amazing defensive stand by both clubs, and that's attributed to the outstanding defense that started from the position number 1, the pitching mound. And that pitch is outside, but it caught the outside corner for a strike. Lacey Kraft up there at the plate, and Kraft on one bounce back to the pitcher, and they go over to first, and that does it for the inning. And we're going to go to the 7th inning. Who would have thought there would be no score for either club in the championship game of the CIF? You get a good look at just some of the fans, and of course for the cheering side of La Costa Canyon, and a young man there, the Mavericks, happy to have him all dialed up today.
You know, you usually see that kind of commitment up in the college levels of play, but obviously the painted up scene has made it all the way down here to high school. A great thing to see, great thing. Lots of enthusiasm out here.
Okay, and so it's time for La Costa Canyon in the top of the 7th inning to see if they can do something here in regulation, what's left of it. Desiree Colo, the designated hitter. Colo has flied out twice in her attempts in this contest and can't get a hold of that low strike.
Even though Colo's flied out a couple of times, it really goes to show that La Costa's really been getting the bat on the ball. The defense from San Marcos isn't giving him any room, but they've really made the attempt to get the bat out there.
And his strikeout queen gets another one here in the 7th inning. Jessica Jenkins, as Colo goes down, the designated hitter, and here's Kelly Fleming.
Jenkins pouring on that heat that she's famed for. Once again, she slacked off a little bit in that last inning, but she's really come back and start off batter, really heated it through.
She's going to be an outstanding addition to the Big 12 and the Oklahoma State Cowboys. Fleming in the contest so far has flied out twice, of course, as mentioned, and a low strike there wasn't granted to Jenkins. 1 ball and 1 strike to count. Fleming grounds one right back to first base, and handling that one is Alexis Gutierrez. And of course now
Gutierrez has certainly had a hand in a lot of San Marcos' outs, taking care of that lead runner. Goes with the territory there at first base, but she's made some outstanding catches and just some great plays.
And that'll bring up to bat Amy Matee. Matee, the sophomore, third baseman, hasn't seen anybody standing next to her her bag over there in this contest for San Marcos while she's been out there on defense. But she certainly would like to reach third base in her batting attempt here, trying to bunt to get on. And, of course, the coach for LCC would love to see her go beyond third base and make it all the way to home plate and plate the first run.
La Costa is a great fundamental game, a test to Mike Hill and his assistants Dennis McDonough and Conrad Judd's achievements. They've really taken these girls and they've created a great fundamental softball team.
And that time she lifts it over there towards her dugout. Not actually technically a dugout, but
That's a fenced-in area.
There you go.
On the other hand, San Marcos' coach, Leonard Gann, a great defensive coach, is what San Marcos has shown us here today. He's really done a lot with them on defense. Great coaches on just both sides.
And there again, Jenkins does what she does so well and has done outstandingly well in CIF sectional history. Was third all-time in one season in strikeouts last year. And very much the Nolan Ryan type in Major League Baseball, and closes it out in 7 regulation innings and does not allow a run in this contest as we go to the bottom of the 7th. Okay. Well, San Marcos going to try and see if they can win this game in regulation in the bottom of the 7th inning. And the batter up there, Alyssa Manis, designated hitter in the bottom part of the order. The number 6 batter, Manis, in the contest. For Manis, she has flied out to third base and has got a base hit. But then she was picked off of first base. Am I not right, Clint?
That is correct. Like said, San Marcos just having a little trouble getting their runners on the bag. However, with the closing of that top of the 7th there, La Costa is out of chances to put scores on the board unless this game goes into overtime, which is very possible.
Well, the last championship game in Division II went into extra innings. Only one extra inning, and it was won by Scripps Ranch Falcons over a very good Sarah Ball Club. And this one is hit past a diving second baseman and into right field, and that's 2 hits in a row up at the plate for Manis. And now undoubtedly her first base coach is going to be telling her, you are very important here in the bottom of the 7th inning. We cannot afford for you to be picked off of first base. And she is not, they're not even going to take a chance with her. They're going to put in another runner.
Number 8, Crystal Caproso coming in to run the bases. That hit right between number 7, Ashley Way, and number 11, Natalie Heaton, picked up by number 99, Amanda Simpson in the outfield. Just got right through. Nice job in finding the hole. She's got a runner on. Third base coach is giving her some instruction there. Got to get her around into scoring position, and this game could be very well on its way.
Well, Dennis, who has been able to get out of jams before and undoubtedly will get the opportunity to do it in ACC history in the future. Good play by the defense of the Mavericks, but getting down to second base, a tactical offensive play to make sure that they get that runner down in scoring position in Caproso, and that's where she stands, but there is one out now.
Nice coverage there by number 11, Heaton, over there on the first base bag. Great fundamental, like I said before here at La Costa's team. Doing really great job of damage control. They're taking out the batters right out of the box. One of them gets through and they make up for it right away with an out. A great job. San Marcos with a runner on second has got to bring that person around. It is key to this game to get a hit and put her on third base. They've only got one out, so they've got the time. They just need to have the patience, go on the offensive, make a drive, and hope that La Costa's defense just has a couple of holes in it.
San Marcos trying to get it done here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Wells up at the plate. Jenkins did her job, the pitcher, and laying down a beautiful bunt. And, of course, getting Caprozo to go down a second to pinch runner. Wells lofts it. Asking for it is the center fielder as she comes over and makes a nice play toward right field. Showed that she had some speed to be able to get to that pop-up.
Number 2, Kelly Fleming calling for that one all by herself, taking command of that outfield and making the play. Again, 2 outs. And San Marcos has got a runner on. They've got to be thinking that this next batter's got to do it.
Alexis Gutierrez. And Gutierrez in the contest. Struck out in the 1st inning, and in the 3rd inning she walked and then singled in the 5th inning. Would love to get a base hit here. Could win the ball game if she could do so. First pitch is high for a ball, 1 ball and no strikes.
Greg, if this game does go into extra innings, fatigue begins to come into a play, and with the sun going down, going from day to night, playing under the transition of the lights, could be tough on both teams.
And of course, it gets a little bit cooler out here too.
Definitely, we've seen a lot of the fans certainly have been coating up and putting on extra layers, but the girls have too.
Three balls and no strikes.
Gutierrez in all of her at-bats has had a great eye for the ball and made sure she chose her pitches.
And a strike on that one. 3 balls and 1 strike. Dennis's delivery, the 3-1 pitch. You can't get Gutierrez, and Gutierrez will have the walk.
Again, San Marcos in that same position they were in the bottom of the 6th inning. 2 runners on and 2 outs. This next hitter has got to get the job done if they're going to win this ball game. They can't take it into extra innings and hope they've got the conditioning and the stamina to keep it up. But like I said, Greg, that is a tough thing to do. And if you can win it in the regulation play, you've got a guaranteed win.
Well, Valerie Spielman trying to get it done here with the winning run at second base. First pitch is outside, 1 ball and no strikes. Spielman in the contest is grounded out, flied out, and grounded out. This one has popped up, asking for it as second baseman, and she makes the play to retire the side to get the 2 runners aboard. Cannot get him, nobody to third base in regulation, as it is a scoreless tie as we go into extra innings between La Costa Canyon, the Mavericks, and the Lady Fighting Knights of San Marcos.
Going into extra innings here at the Division I Finals, girls softball leadoff hitter for La Costa, number 00, Weaver. And that pitch called a ball. And there's a rope deep into center field. And looks like she's going to get on first base. Picked up by number 8, Crystal Caproso. A nice pickup. That puts Weaver on. 1 runner on. Here in the 8th inning, the score is 0-0 tied. And it will be a battle for the rest of this game. Bringing out a pinch runner for Weaver is number 1 for La Costa, Britta Manson. Next up to bat, number 6, Katie Ossing.
Next up for the Mavericks, left fielder Katie Ossing.
La Costa got another chance here in the top of the 8th to put some runs on the board. Let's see if they can do it.
First batter up.
Uh-oh, here comes trouble.
Katie Ashing and Mike Hill wanting to talk to her. This one is deposited in shallow left field. Throw to second. Safe.
A very close call there at second base. Almost got the throw in. Just a little late on that throw.
Well, whatever head coach Mike Hill said to Katie Ashing, it worked. And she was able to deposit that ball to where she can get the lead runner down to second base, barely. We go to the top of the order, Amanda Simpson, the right fielder, sophomore. Places down a beautiful bunt, but it just rolls foul.
Again, that same situation with 2 people on. This time, La Costa has no outs. They've got 2 runners on and a nice fat order in the batting lineup coming up. They've got a lot of their heavy hitters coming into play. They've got to make something happen. They lost that chance at the top of the 7th. They've regained it here at the top of the 8th in the overtime play. Got to get it done.
Jenkins' pitch is bunted at again, and it is an excellent one. You got to do it like that, and 99 did it like that.
Amanda Simpson laid down the bunt. Great play. Was able to advance both runners a base. She got on base herself. Bases are loaded now with Hartley coming up. This is a great position to be in for La Costa. A beautiful bunt. San Marcos, everybody was there. The play was there. They just couldn't get the throw down to first in time. Now they've got to do damage control. They've got to reassess. They've got to go 3 up, 3 down, and not allow a runner to advance. If La Costa brings a run in here, San Marcos has got to make it up in the bottom of the 8th.
And a big rally and a discussion and a big one, getting into the psyche of each and every one of the defensive players in and around the infield with, of course, Jessica Jenkins. Jenkins knowing what she has to do to get the job done. Jessica Hartley up at the plate. Hartley hits one, and a right fielder is able to make the play.
Number 10, Jackie Jimenez on that catch. There it is, Greg. There is the damage control. The bats are coming out. The defense is picking up speed, flexing that San Marcos defensive muscle. Just a nice damage control. They're going to hold these runners here on base. If they can do that, they've got a score. They can take it into another inning.
Well, Jessica Jenkins, knowing what pitches to throw, and was able to pitch the right pitch to get the pop-up for a second there. Jimenez thought that ball was hit a little bit harder, and then she saw it die, and she was able to make the catch. This one's hit off the dirt and foul down the third baseline. I tell you what, Jimenez was about 5 steps away from the infield grass out there when she made that catch. And if it was hit a little bit harder, it would have went over her head and they'd have won the ballgame. Or at least they would have put on the runs to make it go down in the bottom of the at least one run to make it go down the bottom of the 8th inning where San Marcos would have to try to come back.
Again, it's that defensive machine for San Marcos that's kept them in this game this long. La Costa's been getting the hits, but San Marcos has been taking them away one by one. A great, great job. And Jimenez with an excellent hustle out there in left field.
And struck out. Big strikeout. As going down, Dennis.
That strikeout is key for the moral game of San Marcos. That turns the tide. That gets the ball rolling in their direction, gets some enthusiasm out there, makes them pick up their heads and get ready to go again.
And another thing, Clint, as this one's fouled away by Ashley Way, anytime you get the pitcher out and you know the pitcher wants to help themselves out when they got to go out there and play defense, and anytime you make a good pitch against the pitcher, it's just an extra psyche, boost for you as a pitcher.
You're right, Greg. Like I said, that emotional game out there is key, especially in extra innings. It's really important to keep the momentum, keep the spirit, keep the morale of the team up where they can do something good.
Been a lot of good softball played around the country this year, and there's no exception in this fine matchup in San Diego County between La Costa Canyon, the Mavericks, the Lady Mavs, and the Lady Fighting Knights of San Marcos. Jenkins comes to the plate and swung on and missed. Ashley Way strikes out. Couple of base runners stranded again. La Costa cannot get him across. And San Marcos will try to see if they can do something in the bottom of the 8th. It's still scoreless. Rachel Lancaster will step in the bottom of the 8th inning. Scoreless tie. We are in extras. Fouled away.
Well, that is the exact way you want an end an inning, on a high note with a strikeout. 2 strikeouts in a row for Jenkins on San Marcos. Left 3 runners on the bag. That's got to be a morale booster for San Marcos. They've got to be feeling good, feeling like they can take this game away.
Well, it's up to Dennis to see what she can try and do. It's that one is swung and a miss. Both of these two fine high school pitchers have just pitched as well as it can be done in a high school game for this year.
They really have. They've pitched well, and like I said, the defense in this game has been outstanding on both sides of the field here. La Costa doing a great job with their damage control, fundamental defense. San Marcos coming up big when it is necessary to take away those outs, get them back up to the plate, put some runs on the board.
Dennis has a sign. This one is hit to center field. One step back and making the play on a nice catch is Kelly Fleming. One down. And Amy Dent will come up to plate, the junior catcher.
San Marcos ending that inning really, really well, but La Costa has answered right back with a great opening. 1 up, 1 down, excellent defense. Dennis still out there on the mound looking strong.
Now, Dent has been a tough out for Dennis. She has been aboard twice with a double and a walk. The first pitch is outside for a ball, 1 ball and no strikes. Dent, the number 4 batter in the lineup, the cleanup person, and she has done a good job of making sure that she gets on board or drives the ball somewhere.
Dent's done a really great job of getting on base and kind of leading off the San Marcos offense. She's been on, hit a double, she's been walked, she's been on base twice, one of the more frequent base runners out here. Dent, a great job. We saw her go out there for that brief instant and a relief runner come on in, but she's back in the game, looking strong, looking like she's ready to play.
And now from a brief stint in the back part of the circle, ready to go. Dennis again and gets a bounding ball down to third base. Nice play, and the recorded out at first. Excellent defensive play by Amy Matee.
Matee connecting with Wave for that out. A great pickup and a nice hard throw right over to the first base. Tagged her out. Great play. Like said, La Costa's defense, fundamental quality.
And now Jackie Jimenez. Jimenez, the junior, gonna be back next year. But love to finish this season, going into her senior season with a championship. But they need her to get on board here to have any hopes of that.
You know, in and out your junior year with a CIF championship would definitely be a way. You know, makes good morale boosters, makes a good team leader for next year. Especially coming away with a CIF championship. A lot of these kids that aren't graduating, they're going to be back next year, and they're going to be gunning for it once more.
Took a little bit off that pitch. Didn't get the strike, though. 2 balls and 1 strike with 2 gone.
You know, good coaches will tell you that they've got to have a program to build on, and with as many youngsters as there are out there, it's a great program. And San Marcos, knowing that they can get here, they're definitely going to be gunning for it again next year.
Couldn't get that pitch on the outside corner. Now it's 2-2. Bottom of the 8th inning. Deuces Wild on the scoreboard. Pitch from Dennis, swung on and missed. And that's going to do it in the 8th inning. 3 up and 3 down, and we're going to go to the 9th inning. And fatigue beginning to be a factor for both of these Lady High School championship clubs. And we'll be back with the 9th in a moment. And commentator here at the Titan Field saying we're going to continue to play softball since we do have lights here until we have a winner. And that means there are not going to be any ties. They're not going to stop it after a certain amount of innings. Somebody's going to win this softball game. And we'll see who will win it as Jenkins delivers a pitch low.
Both teams just doing a great job of keeping each other in check, not allowing any great leads and playing that great defense.
And again, as I mentioned, fatigue will become a factor as it continues to go on. And anytime you have a situation with fatigue as that pitch is low, but a called strike in the low half of the strike zone for Jenkins, you have the concentration is got to be the key, the focus.
Concentration definitely on offense, definitely on defense. Both teams have shown it. It's going to be a factor. They're getting on each other's nerves emotionally. They've been facing each other for the past 2 and some odd hours. It's going to come down to brass tacks here, Greg.
Well, another strikeout for Jenkins. She likes to stack them up. The K's out in the outfield, the proverbial in Major League Baseball. The fans liking to hold those things up. Don't got anybody doing it here, but if they were to, they'd have a number of them. This one is fouled off the first base side.
Fleming 0-3 for the ball game.
Kelly just wants to try to get the aluminum on that softball and try and get on base. That pitch is down too low. Go ahead, Clint.
With defenses like La Costa and San Marcos have been putting up, as a batter, you've got to find the holes. You've got to find the empties. You've got to find the gaps. You got to place that ball exactly where it needs to be, or you're not going to get anything. These defenses are just outstanding, and it's being tough on the batters.
You know, it really comes down to a mistake somewhere, and it's really tough on a pitcher. You know, your concentration and then the fatigue factor sets in. And in this case, both of the clubs going with their star pitchers, the ones that have got them the winning numbers all year long, and it's going to come down to making a mistake and somebody being able to put the ball where somebody is not defensively.
You know, Greg, whichever team wins out here, San Marcos or Costa, they've both played an excellent, excellent ball game, and neither team has anything to be ashamed of.
Yeah, nice job.
And that's an excellent pitch by Jenkins for another strikeout. 2 down.
Watching strike 3 go by.
La Costa seems to be a bit apprehensive up there with the bats. That's his second batter now in this inning that's gone down looking at the pitches, not quite being as aggressive they were in the first half of the game here.
Amy Matee stepping in.
Jenkins tuning up her pitching and bringing those strikes in 1, 2, 3, one after another.
And that next pitch as the infield trying to run in the case of a bunt. 0-2 the count. Jenkins throwing strikes. Winds up, and this one is up in the air, cannot be caught by San Marcos, who's number 14 coming over there, and that is, of course, Alyssa Manis.
You know, Greg, we've said a lot about these defensive games, and it's the bats that have got to come around to get the scoring done, but both teams are playing excellent.
I gave credit to Alyssa Manis. I mean, Rachel Lancaster was coming over there, ran out of real estate, but it didn't matter as striking out as Matee, and we'll go to the bottom of the 9th inning. And Major League Baseball, they played 9 innings in regulation. We're in the bottom half of the extra 2 in this championship San Diego sectional game.
Awesome.
And here we go with Dennis delivering the first pitch. Bounding ball down at second base. She's able to snow cone in the glove and get it over to first base in time.
Number 11, Heaton, has just been a key defensive player over here for La Costa, as well as Ashley Way. She's done a great job over there at first base, making the plays.
Next batter for the Fighting Knights.
This is a hard-fought game, Greg. One of the hardest-fought softball games I think I have ever been acclaimed to watch.
Well, here's Caparoso. Caparoso is in there batting, I guess, for Alyssa Manis. Kraft was first ball swinging on Dennis, the last batter, and this one, first ball trying to make something happen, and Caparoso is thrown out for the second quick out of the inning.
Amy McKee to Ashley Way. 2 away.
Matee to Way doing the honors that time.
That third base umpire's got to be getting lonely over there, Greg. Nobody's been over in that area for the entire 9 innings of this ball game.
And you are right, as it is grounded to first base and taking care of it. Number 7, Ashley Way, and that ends it in the 9th inning, and we go to the top of the 10th. It's still a scoreless tie. And the sun setting in the Pacific, and a 10th inning is going to follow here at Triton Field on the campus of University of California at San Diego. We hope you've enjoyed this contest on your George Langevin Video Sports Productions. Again, I'm Greg Porter along with Clint
Glad you all show up and have a chance to watch this game. Again, a great match between these two very, very excellent teams.
Why don't you tell them the surname there, Clint? I keep forgetting.
I'm Clint Bell.
They call it in Japan the family name, which is where I was residing for the last couple of years with the U.S. Navy. Glad to be back. Jessica Jenkins trying to keep it going for the defense of San Marcos here in the 10th inning. This one is skied, running out for it and coming in for it and making the play is Wells. Wells, the right fielder, being able to make it. Chrissy doing a fine job there. She goes back to her position, 1 out. And the La Costa Canyon 10th inning. The Lady Mavs trying to find the missing piece of the puzzle against Jessica Jenkins.
If anything, Greg, these last 3 innings, these extra innings, have been a time for these two teams to really shine. Both times, 3 up and 3 down. Just a marvelous showing.
And this one has popped up, trying to ask for it and almost making the play. I believe that was the shortstop running over. Yes, it was. Lacey Kraft trying to make a outstanding play. Boy, I tell you what, that is, if you're the coach, you're definitely liking that play by Kraft, that effort by Kraft here in the extra innings, trying to eliminate the batter there.
There's a lot of heart in both of these ball clubs, Greg. The plays they've been making, the stamina, the enthusiasm that we've been seeing. These coaches have got to be proud of these girls, and nothing can be taken away from them.
Katie Ashing just couldn't get the a low strike. That heat coming on the low side of the strike zone, and she strikes out. 2 down, top of the order, Amanda Simpson. Simpson trying to bunt. And a strike, missing it. No balls and 1 strike. The Lady Mavericks tried to do something in the last inning, a couple of innings ago actually, and they couldn't get it done, and now they have been silenced now, and this is going to be 2 consecutive innings, Clint.
You know, La Costa's really come up big, and they did come up big in the 8th inning. Bases loaded, just couldn't make anything happen though, and San Marcos has been able to shut them down since.
Slow roller, Jenkins makes the play and gets it over quickly to Gutierrez, and that'll finish them off. 3 up and 3 down, and we're going to go to the bottom of the 10th. Stay with us. We'll be right back for San Marcos' try. And Chrissy Wells is going to lead it off for the Lady Fighting Knights. Wells made a nice defensive catch in that top half of the inning, and Wells cannot get that fastball of Dennis.
As we've seen La Costa's bat somewhat subside and become a little more timid, we have certainly seen the pickup in San Marcos, showing they're not afraid to hit Dennis, swinging the bat, making contact.
Boy, she took some off of that pitch and got a strike. 0-2. There's no doubt the arms have got to be getting tired for Dennis and Jessica Jenkins. But I'll tell you what, the batters have probably been feeling that they've got bionic arms. Tireless.
You know, these two pitchers have made an excellent showing, definitely living up to their reputations. They've stayed in it, they've fought hard, and they've been taking these batters out 1 by 1.
Popped up, asking for it, and just cannot hold on, and that might have been that old fatigue guy stepping in. She just, for some reason, took her eye off of it, or just a little bit too tired to follow it all the way down on the glove.
You know, Greg, that could have been a factor of the nighttime, too. The lights make it a little bit hard to see when the ball goes up that high, and she was a little bit out of position there, just not quite underneath it where she needed to be, and the ball dropped to the ground.
And albeit in her defense, that was a kind of a tough play. Bringing it is Dennis, and that one was a little bit too high. Again, a scoreless tie. Nobody out here in the 10th inning. The bottom of the 10th inning. And definitely if San Marcos is able to get a run, the game will immediately end. And that one is a little bit high and outside. So Chrissy Wells gets the walk. Wells looked like she was kind of hobbling to first base.
You know, this far into the game, 3 innings into overtime, you can't make mistakes. It's sad for the loser, obviously, losing such a well-fought game, but putting a runner on with no outs on a walk that's tough to take, especially for a defensive club.
Well, there's no doubt that Kirsten Dennis has to try and pick up the pieces of it, because the winning run is definitely on first base. Nobody has gotten to third base yet. And obviously San Marcos would love to try and at least do that, which would be very interesting in the psyche of both of these pitchers, and of course Dennis in this case, because nobody has been standing over there at third base. What do you do?
Well, Weaver's coming out to talk to her right now. She's coming out for maybe a couple words of encouragement, maybe some tips on advice. You never know. When a catcher goes out to talk to a pitcher, it's their own little world out there on the mound. San Marcos, runner in scoring position, on first base. Got to get something done here. Got to make it happen.
Alexis Gutierrez trying to do it as she has been all game long, and that pitch is a wild pitch, allowing Chrissy Wells to go down to second base. And laboring here in the bottom of the 10th is Dennis, undoubtedly by her delivery, as you can see.
You know, a victory for either team would be wonderful. San Marcos coming up from rank number 6 to playing in the finals game. La Costa not winning before, a new division, a new school coming in. Only been in existence 2 years, but coming in and winning the Division I CIF Championship softball game. Now that would be something to talk about. As well for San Marcos. San Marcos now more than ever, they've got a runner on second, just a base away from third into scoring position.
And a bunt, and that is foul. Gutierrez trying at the last moment, trying to sneak a bunt and trying to get that runner on third.
You know, Greg, both teams have been utilizing the bunt quite well. They've been well placed, and they've certainly tried it time after time. La Costa really made something happen for him on a bunt. San Marcos, though, they're doing the same thing. They're well placed. They're good solid hits, and to advance a runner, it's got to be the way to go. With the strong defense that we've seen on these teams, especially in the air and especially out in the field, putting it short, making them run for the ball. It's almost a guaranteed way to get them around the bases these days.
Well, you almost have to try and do anything you can to try to, obviously within the rules, of course, try to get a runner in at home plate and win this contest. And you definitely, on offense, don't want to have to go out and play another inning. And that's got to be heavily in the minds of San Marcos. Gutierrez, with an opportunity here, fouls it away. Staying tough, 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Runner on second, a great position to be in. Gutierrez has got to get it done here at the plate. Even a base hit will get the ball rolling. There's no force out anywhere. It's a great position to be in.
And she puts this one out to center field. It dies at the last moment. But gauging it very, very well is Kelly Fleming to make the play.
Like said, Greg, the ball on the ground is definitely going to be the way to go. Although they've only got their first out, San Marcos is in a good position. They've just got to make something happen with the bats. Got to find the holes, got to put it in between the defense's legs, got to do something to get those batters and get those runners around.
Well, this is really the difference between regular hardball, of course, played by the Silver Bullets. Unfortunately, their sponsorship had to be changed, and they didn't get a chance to play. Both on the women's side and the men's side, you don't get a chance to start runners. And that makes it very tough to really try and do a lot of things in the game of softball as opposed to in regular baseball.
Well, you know, Greg, it comes down to basics. If there's no runners on the base, then there's no runners touching the plate. You got to get the runners on, and you got to get them around in a scoring position, or you're going to have a scoreless game, as such as we do. San Marcos is definitely not for lack of trying, and neither is on the side of La Costa. Just a great defensive game.
Nice job. The catcher staying with that one and being able to retire Spillman on the play.
Well, San Marcos has got one more chance with this last batter here in the bottom of the 10th to take it away in this last inning.
12 still at second.
Almost seems required, Greg, to take this into 11 innings. It's been the norm here in this game, certainly, and it's well fought, hard played on both sides. Might even go longer than 11.
And this one is hit down to short, and the throw is a good one. Just getting Lancaster as she tried everything she could to make sure she got down to first base before that ball was thrown there, but it wasn't to be. A nice throw by the shortstop, retiring the inning, and we're going to go to the 11th. It's still a scoreless tie.
To Spillman.
And Lancaster to Spillman retires Jessica Hartley, the leadoff batter for the La Costa Canyon Lady Mavs. And now here's Kristen Dennis, who's pitched an outstanding game, wanting to try to help herself out. And her team. We are in the 11th inning, if you didn't know, the top of the 11th inning. A game that normally only goes 7 in regulation. So you do the math. Just extending the season for both of these two fine high schools.
You've got to wonder what the seniors on both La Costa and San Marcos are thinking. It's a great way, first of all, just to get to the Division I finals in CIF here in California. A great thing to get there, but also to take it this close. Absolutely wonderful. They've been in there, they've been fighting, they've been coming up through the ranks, whether they started out on JV or on varsity. Coming up, getting the job done, and now they're here to take it again. It's a great honor to be here as a senior, and it's certainly sad to leave it, but it's going to happen. Kristen Dennis comes up as the batter.
Actually, Dennis is going down, went down as a batter. She got struck out by Jenkins again. Another one of her assortment of pitches, and here's Ashley Way. And that curveball, obviously in the low half of the strike zone, kind of moved the legs back of Ashley Way.
Jenkins certainly not backing down at all.
Yes, they're both mentally tough, Jenkins and Kirsten Dennis of La Costa Canyon. And they have just put on a fine, spectacular performance out there in the center circle.
Unfortunately, this game is going to come down to who makes a mistake first. Both teams have been no errors, just absolutely on top of the game. However, you got to wonder if you're the person that makes the mistake or if that mistake is made, could end the game.
Man, and she came with a lot of what she still has left and was able to get that one by on some heat. Pass way. And still brings it again and ends up striking her out on 2 smoking pitches.
Jessica Jenkins not hesitating to bring the thunder in off that mound. Took the 3 batters out and just ended this inning on a great note.
Go down in order.
So we'll go to the 12th. Well, wait a minute. It's not the 12th yet. We'll go to the bottom of the 11th inning. But, boy, the way this has been going, you might as well think about putting another numeral up there. And we're going to start off the bottom half of the 11th inning for San Marcos. The San Marcos half. Catcher Amy Dent will step in again. And Dennis gets a strike. Dennis has made good contact in this game, but albeit that hasn't done anything for him on the scoreboard yet. And they'd love to have her bring out some of that now.
Nighttime is all but fallen out here at UCSD. The lights are shining fairly bright. Sun's gone down and the sky's grown dark, and these two teams are still at it, going round for round.
No, it's just like one of those classic heavyweight matchups, and definitely these two schools are the heaviest, meaning the highest division, Division I, trying to make it happen. And the throw over to first is in time. One down.
Hartley hesitated no time picking that ball up and firing it over there to first base, over to Way. Taking out those runners. Like I said, defense is super strong, and that batting has got to get done on the ground.
I tell you what, I don't want to prop a certain box of cereal there, but you know they've eaten them today. This one out to the shallow.
Whoa! An amazing catch out there.
What did I just say, Clint?
Number 6, Katie Ossing with an amazing sliding knee catch. It's those kind of plays that you live for to see in this kind of a game. Absolutely incredible. Coming in from deep left field, sliding up to just the corner of the infield and taking that ball away.
Boy, I tell you what, they're laying it all out on the line. The 11th inning. And now Kraft, Lacey Kraft, trying to maybe come up with some Kraft magic here. She definitely needs it for her club. 2 gone in the 11th.
The bases are empty, which is something you certainly don't like to see with 2 outs on the board, but San Marcos is definitely trying to get the runs up there and get their batters on. The defense of Costa just taking it away.
Kraft reaches out and deposits that one through the hands of the third base coach.
If only they could play in the game.
And Dennis still on top of her game, even in the 11th inning. As she exhibits there, as the one hopper comes to her, she's able to still have the stamina to get off that mound and make the good, accurate throw. Arm tiring, but still make the right throw.
Kristen Dennis, another great defensive play by her. 0-0 still, bringing up the top of the 12th. Again, what a great matchup.
Epsom salt's coming up. Stick with us. And this one is hit down to second. 4-3. 1 out. As grounding out was Desiree Colo.
Jenkins with 12-plus strikeouts on the game, showing an excellent stamina and excellent pitching ability up there on the mound.
She's got one for just about every inning. Jenkins has a sign and is ready to work to Kelly Fleming. Gets a strike. No balls and 1 strike. For the sheer sake of competition, both of these clubs really deserve to get a share of the title because they have really been top flight competitors in this matchup. Anytime you go 12 innings, no runs have been scored, but both of them have been trying to do whatever they can do against two of maybe the best pitchers in San Diego County this year, and maybe in some years. This one is hit hard, but the left fielder roams back towards the fence and makes the play. About 3 steps, maybe 3 to 4 steps shy of the fence. So that one was hit very, very well by Kelly Fleming. Still no score as Amy Matee comes up for the Lady Mavericks. Costa Canyon, 2 down in the 12th. And Matee swings and misses. Matee in the contest has struck out 3 times and has a single. She is 1 for 4 in the contest. And that one is fouled back. Matee, a sophomore, got many years left to play. A couple more to be exact. Hoping that she can get that all-important patch on her letterman's jacket that says champion this year as a sophomore. This one again hit to left field, and the left fielder making the play, Alex Gutierrez. Or correction on that, Jackie Jimenez. She has caught both of those fly balls out to left field, the one by Fleming and now by Matee. And we're going to go to the bottom of the 12th, the San Marcos side of the 12th. And neither team has a score in this championship affair. And here we go in the bottom of the 12th for San Marcos, and swinging at the first pitch is the center fielder, Crystal Caparoso. Caparoso, the freshman, trying to get something going here for the Lady Knights. The Lady Fighting Knights, and they have been fighting for a victory in this contest.
They certainly have, Greg. San Marcos, no less than an excellent game out here today. The defense, incredible. Both teams, La Costa and San Marcos. We've said it once, we'll say it again. It's been the key to this game. It's just the bats. They've got to be swung, they've got to get around, they've got to lay some aluminum on that softball.
And there's no doubt that there's enough light out there for them to be able to see the softball, but I wonder if they could be doing better if there was a softball that was a different color. I know in collegiate softball they play with the orange softball, and sometimes it works better for the batters.
The lighting out here, Greg, is absolutely wonderful. What I've got to be concerned for is those La Costa fans in the stands with no shirts and green and yellow paint all over themselves. It has got to be cold. It is not warm out here.
Well, you know, as we approach the official date of summer, it's still kind of cool up here. Of course, we're not too far from the coast, I should say. Kirsten Dennis still bringing it. Doing a great job of pitching. Out of jams. Staying ahead of the count. Almost wanting to try and reach and get that one, but electing not to do it was Jessica Jenkins.
The nemesis is up right now. Dennis pitching into Jenkins, the two pitchers, both of which who have made an outstanding show here today.
3 balls and 1 strike. Jenkins very selective. Watching each one very carefully as it comes from the delivery of Dennis, and will get a walk. Watching that one.
Greg, that's the first person on base for both teams in the last couple innings here, and with a walk leading it off, no one out. It's time for San Marcos to bring this home.
Well, if they're going to do it, Clint, it's definitely going to be done by the one on first base. The pitcher's pitched an outstanding game, Jessica Jenkins, and this inning.
In some games, you can tell the winner of an inning based on score. This obviously not the case in this game. Winners per inning have been almost unheard of. Both teams playing to their utmost potential on defense.
This one hit towards left field, and staying with it, doing a nice job for LCC in left field, of course, is Katie Oshing.
Well, pitch it far. But Oshing peppers it in the end. Next batter, first baseman Alexis.
So now we go to the bottom, or the top of the order, Alexis Gutierrez. And Gutierrez in the contest, a check of what she's done. And she struck out into first, into third, she walked into fifth, she singled and walked into seventh. And probably done some other things too, but it's been a long game. We don't have the official stats, official score being kept behind home plate. But I tell you what, there is no score. That's all that matters right now.
Gutierrez has been strong throughout this game, both at the plate and in the field. The left-hander at first base has got to be an asset.
And being able to go down to second base is Dennis on the, or Jenkins rather, on the wild pitch.
Yeah.
As Kirsten Dennis delivering that one a little too high. And right now, there's a discussion with the home plate umpire, and maybe Dennis might be coming out of the contest. San Marco. Gutierrez is running. Yeah. Gutierrez now running for Jessica Jenkins at second base, scoring position. And that discussion with the manager of San Marcos was just the fact that they bringing in a pinch runner and a strike three. Kirsten Dennis being very, very strong on the mound. And there, again, is no base runner that has reached third base through 12.
No runs, no hits.
Well, the snack bar is closing up early here at the top of the 13th, number 00. Jennifer Weaver fouled out deep into left field. The battle continues here as night falls, the snack bar closes, but nobody is going home.
Definitely not if you're one of the parents that has come to watch your daughter play some great softball throughout the year. And here again in this championship softball match as a swing and a miss by Amanda Simpson.
Jenkins claims another batter with a strikeout. Weaver goes down with a swing.
Did I say Amanda Simpson? I meant Jennifer Weaver. See, the innings have gone, and I'm beginning to say different things than what I want to say. It's great for you to have been along with me, Clint, in our inaugural contest together.
Greg, it's been a pleasure. It's been a pleasure working. Certainly enjoyed the day here, enjoyed these games. It's a contest that I wouldn't have missed out. Wouldn't have missed out on.
Well, it's definitely a history in the making, and it deserves definitely front page news. And I'll tell you what, in some smaller cities, it probably would get front page news into sports, because these two have played front page news type of softball.
In the past, La Costa and San Marcos have gone tit for tat, winning one and losing one each to each other. They've bested each other once, and they've also lost once. It's this match here that'll settle up that tie score and the tie score we have here in the 13th inning.
Amanda Simpson up there at the top of the order again, so go through the order again and see what you can do this time. And Jessica Jenkins, doesn't matter to her what part of the order you come up with. She's just going to continue to keep the focus of throwing strikes. But there's undoubtedly the human factor is going to come into play, and that is the fact of fatigue. And you just can't do it for too many innings before you're going to make a mistake.
Jessica Jenkins has certainly been throwing pitches and taking names. Never letting up. Got a slow start there in the beginning of the game, but she has really turned on the heat and come up large in these last few innings.
And the Lady Mavs, they had tried to, or rather San Marcos had tried to, well, the last time Lady Mavs were up, they were trying to hit the fence, and San Marcos had to try to make some plays, but this time they went down quietly. We'll go to the bottom of the 13th. There's still no score.
Nobody scored yet. We're 0-0.
San Marcos up here in the bottom of the 13th. Base hit not to be had. Number 2, Valerie Spillman, grounds out.
It's into McKay, who throws it to Wade, and one is gone. Next batter.
So Rachel Lancaster, the third baseman, is going to come up to play now, and obviously the same thing's got to be going through her mind. Do whatever I can to try to get on base. Swings, first ball hitting, and what does she do? Flies out to a roaming left fielder. And Katie Ashing doing a fine job again in left field, as she's done all game long, to secure any possibility of San Marcos getting a runner aboard. And so now Amy Dent coming up. Dent has made good contact throughout the contest.
No.
Ready with the delivery, and it's up to third base. Third baseman making a good play. They retired to side. Matee throwing it over to Way. And 3 up and 3 down, and now we're going to go to the 14th inning. No score.
Now,
And we go to the 1-4 inning. That's the 14th, and it's Hartley stepping in for the Lady Mavericks. Clint?
San Marcos again out there in the defensive field, taking no risks. Definitely communication out there is key. They've definitely been talking to each other here this inning, and their positions are all stuck out. Costa's up again to the bat. Successfully played close to 2 games now, 1 inning away from a 2 consecutive, like playing a doubleheader.
This one is punched well. They were playing a little bit in. Wells throws. Finally, a batter makes it to third base as the crowd erupts for the Mavericks.
The elusive third base has thus been achieved. Number 4, Hartley, finally makes it around with a huge rope all the way out into right center field, rolls to the fence. That's the kind of bat that they needed in the beginning of the game, but that's all right. We'll take it now. Costa has got to be pumped. They have the runner now 1 base away from home plate. All they have to do is base hit and run that in. San Marcos has got to be playing tough defense on that third base runner right now. They have got to be doing all that they can to salvage, not get that run. Damage control. Jessica Jenkins has done it once. She'll do it again.
Well, Jessica Hartley, and obviously who's up right behind her, it's Kirsten Dennis. Dennis would love to try to plate the first run for their ball club. This one is going to be tough. It's going to drop. And there's going to be a run on the scoreboard. The first one, Kirsten Dennis with a seeing eye single over the drawn-in infield.
Like we had said, Greg, this game is going to come down to finding mistakes and finding the holes, and Costa has successfully done that here in the top of the 14th. They found the holes. They put it over the infield's head right before the outfield could get in there. They've put it all the way back to the fence, and that is the kind of bat that was needed in the beginning of the game. Dennis wasting no time up there. Second pitch, took it for a ride. San Marcos has got to be down just a little bit, but not to be down and out. They still have 1 more bottom half of the inning to take care of business. They can't give up now, and I don't think they will. San Marcos has had a lot of heart up till now. They've been playing excellently, just as well as Costa. This game could very well be over. It is up now to San Marcos to do some effective damage control, take control back of the game, and try to get that run back in the bottom of the 14th.
Well, Ashley Way is going to step up next, up at the plate. Kirsten Dennis gets a great round of applause by her teammates and the partisan family and so forth watching this game.
Interestingly, Greg, number 8, Lauren Dennis is pinch running. I don't know if the Dennises are related, but it does look like they are. Kristen and Lauren, sisters. Now Lauren running for her older sister, Kristen, who just hit in the winning run, the RBI, the only RBI of the game. What a way to finish it.
Lauren, the freshman. This one's hit right back to Jenkins, and she throws a bullet down to second, and Dennis will be erased off the base paths. What a throw by Jenkins. A little bit of frustration in that throw, and fortunately it wasn't too hard. She could have ended up throwing it away. You always have to watch yourself, and albeit in the 14th inning, it's easier said than done out there when you know you've been in a scoreless tie and you've pitched your heart out, and they get a couple of hits off you, and the next thing you know, it's 1-0. But for San Marcos, not to cut you off, Clint, is they are still going to get an opportunity up at the plate.
Hartley and Dennis got up there and got the job done. Now San Marcos has got it out. All they've got to do now is get those other 2, and Costa's got to be just swinging now. They're just out there going to have a good time. They've been up. It's up to their defense now.
Desiree Colo just trying to make contact like Ashley Way did, standing on first base. Trying to bunt at it, and it's foul.
Quick reaction by the catcher for San Marcos, number 15. Amy Dent fired that ball right down to first. Unfortunately, it was a foul ball, and the out did not count. It's that kind of enthusiasm, though, Greg, that has just kept San Marcos going through this entire game. They say defense wins games. Well, in this case, they draw them out 7 extra innings.
Well, that was a wild pitch. No chance for Amy Dent on that one, as Jenkins, both of the pitchers in this inning are going to be undoubtedly tired and just working on reserves at this point. And now the mental reserves being spent for Jessica Jenkins, as it is 1-0, and now a runner on second base with 1 out. The 1-2 delivery, bunted at and missed, obviously, and she's going to go down on strikes. Two gone.
Sorry, both pitchers, Dennis and Jenkins, a great way to finish up their senior year, pitching their heart out for 14 innings. Just a remarkable showing and an excellent way to finish off this season for both. There can only be one winner here, unfortunately, but both teams definitely deserve recognition and our congratulations.
And now coming up is Kelly Fleming. And Fleming swings at some heat that Jessica Jenkins still has. Jenkins, a great competitor in the record books in CIF high school history for strikeouts in 1 year. Was number 3rd all time last year. And a nice catch to end the 14th inning, but the all-important run has come across now. It's taken 14 for it to get done. It is 1-0 La Costa Canyon, and it's up to San Marcos to get that one, or the game. And the championship will be La Costa's.
Lacey Kraft with that at last out as she closes out the 14th inning. This could be all, but San Marcos still has a chance to rally.
1 run on 2 hits.
Let's see what Kirsten Dennis and the rest of her teammates can do here to keep the lead. The first pitch is swung at and fouled away.
Greg, with La Costa taking that final run, all it is up to them now is just to play awesome defense like they've been playing all game. All they have to do is keep up that defense, keep those runners off the home plate, and this game could very well be theirs.
Jackie Jimenez up there at the plate for San Marcos. Dennis's pitch is low. Dennis had some problems in that last inning with the control for a middle part of the inning, but then she got through it and was able to pull out of it.
That pitch fouled away. Like I said, Greg, there can only be one winner here, and unfortunately, these two teams have battled it out tooth and nail, playing their hearts out, playing their best, and keeping their emotions up and their intensity up. A great matchup here.
Whoa! And a nice catch in left field as a sinking line drive hit by Jackie Jimenez. She got a hold of that Dennis pitch, tried to deposit it in front of the left fielder, Katie Oshing, but just couldn't get it to drop.
Katie Oshing taking command of left field, not allowing a ball to get past her. Taking charge, making the big plays that are necessary.
Of course, up there now is Lacey Kraft, the shortstop, swinging at the first pitch and not getting. Count is 0-1. Dennis ready for the second delivery. This one is a slow roller down a second, gloved and throw out for 2 down. Nice play there.
La Costa is 1 out away from the Division I CIF championship game. A team chock full of Metro League leaders and CIF record holders. They've really made a great showing. Not to discredit San Marcos, who also coming up from rank number 6, a 6th seed going into CIF, coming up to play the final game. Outstanding and remarkable. Certainly, CIF history has been made here today on this field.
On that ground down, a nice play, of course, on Lacey Kraft, Natalie Heaton to Ashley Way. They've combined in this game for a number of putouts. The pitch riding high and outside. Christina, well, we have a substitution in there now batting for San Marcos. That's number 14, and that is Arakawa, the freshman. No. Alyssa Manis is a batter rather than Arakawa. Manis, who's played a fine game, definitely needs to do something here. And it's over to third. The throw is in time, and that will do it. The championship for Lauren Dennis and the La Costa Canyon Lady Mavericks, 1-0 over the San Marcos Lady Fighting. And they did fight today, but did not get it in 14.
In 14 grueling innings, La Costa Canyon triumph over San Marcos Lady Knights. An excellent effort put forth by both teams. Outstanding softball game played here today. The La Costa Lady Mavericks, the #1 team in Division I CIF 1998. Congratulations.
To the Division I, we're off, San Marcos Knights. With CIF, standing over the section counselor, John Jessup. Principals, Bob Heaton, and athletic director, John Amora. We present Royal Awards to the Knights of San Marcos. The Knights players, stand by. San Diego Section Commissioner Jan Jessup, representing San Marcos High School, Principal Bob Herman, and Athletic Director John Amaya. The runner-up awards go to the Knights players. #1, third baseman Rachel Lancaster. #2, outfielder Valerie Spillman. #3, pitcher Jessica Jenkins. #4, catcher Rachel Arakawa. #5, outfielder Amanda Reed. #6, shortstop Lacey Kraft. #7, outfielder Chrissy Wells. #8, outfielder Crystal Caparoso. #9, third baseman Caden Prowse. #10, outfielder Jackie Jimenez. #11, first baseman Alexis Gutierrez. #13, second baseman, Leah Gutierrez. #14, second baseman, Alyssa Manis. #15, catcher, Amy Dent. #16, first baseman, Julie Terwillinger. #17, shortstop, Brittany Jones. And #18, outfielder, Crystal Pace. The Knights assistant, Rita Gorko. And accepting the runner-up trophy for the San Marcos Knights head coach Leonard Gann. We direct your attention to the third base line. Representing the La Costa Canyon High School, Assistant Principal Margie Stanchi, Teresa Pascal, and Board Member Sue Huntley. The 1998 Division I champion, La Costa Canyon Maverick. One double zero, catcher Jennifer Weaver. Number 2, outfielder Kelly Fleming. Third baseman, number 3, Amy McKee. Number 4, shortstop Jessica Hartley. Number 5, catcher Pierre Marino. Number 6, outfielder Katie Ashley. Number 7, first baseman Ashley Way. Number 8, second baseman Lauren Dennis. Number 9, pitcher Christina Wade. Number 11, second baseman Natalie Heaton. Number 12, pitcher Kristen Dennis. Number 14, outfielder Jennifer Skeeter. Number 15, third baseman Desiree Klein. Number 16, outfielder Stacy Burning. And number 91, outfielder Amanda Simpson. The Maverick assistant coaches Dennis McDonough and Conrad Judd. And to accept the 1998 Division I Championship trophy, head coach Mike Taylor. We would like to congratulate all the ladies who participated in the season tremendous contact. We would like to congratulate San Marcos and La Costa Canyon for their finals appearance, and again congratulate the 1998 Division I champion, La Costa Canyon Maverick. We would like to thank those of you who attended this evening's contest and your support of CIF and its scholastic athletics. Thank you for coming and enjoy home safely.
Did you not see policy said wait on the
Here with Amy McKee, the third basewoman for the Lady Mavericks. How does it feel to be champions of the CIF?
I never cry, and I'm crying. This is so awesome. God. We were working so hard this year, and it finally paid off, and we deserve this.
You personally played a fine game. Your whole team played a fine game. At third base, that's a tough position to play. Nobody was standing over there for them throughout the whole contest. What kind of feeling was that?
It's great. You know, it's a team effort. Everyone contributes individually, but it's a team that makes it happen. And if we didn't have a team, if we weren't together like we always are, then that wouldn't happen. And it's a team effort, and that's what happened.
How tough was it getting here, through the playoffs?
Oh, God. Well, we had our times when we struggled, and we had a lot of extra inning games, but we always gave it our best, and we deserve it.
14 innings. Have you ever been in this long a game before?
No. Got a couple double headers, but then we got a break. But that was good.
This is fantastic. What grade are you in now?
I'm a sophomore.
Sophomore, so you're going to be around for a couple of more years. Yeah. Well, any last comments you want to say about winning the championship?
Go Mavs.
Back with Britta Manson to the outside and Amanda Simpson. Amanda, this feels great, doesn't it?
Oh, it's incredible. I can't even explain the feeling, the adrenaline that I feel right now. It's just overwhelming.
Being the leadoff batter, you always had to come up in each inning to try to get something going throughout the game. Wasn't it tough to focus like that in its championship game?
It's tough, but the thing you just got to think is I'm just going to put it in play and do my best. If you give 100%, it's all you can do.
Are you going to be back next year?
Oh, yeah, 2 more years. I'm only a sophomore.
All right, well, congratulations. Britta Manson, how does this feel?
It feels so great. I never thought, like, in a million years we'd be here, but we have the best team, and we've really proved ourselves, and I'm so happy.
Who are the soccer players that converted into, is that you?
Yeah, that's me and Lauren Dennis and Christina Wade.
Okay. And so it's the right choice, right?
Oh, yeah.
I
love this.
Rules.
Oh, yeah.
They're great sports, but fantastic, right?
Yeah, softball's #1.
All right, well, thanks, girls. Congratulations. We're here with the Dennis sisters, and of course, first off, Jessica Hartley, you got the triple. What were you saying coming to that at bat?
I just knew that I had to make something happen. I mean, it's 14 innings, and I knew that it was time, and we wanted it then, and we got it then, and that's what it was all about.
Was it a fastball that she threw to you?
No, she hung a changeup. I was 0-2, and she hung a changeup right where I like it, and I just sat back on it and let it go, and I got lucky.
And then, of course, you're able to score the winning run because the person next to you pitched an outstanding game. Lauren Dennis, how do you do it? Or Kristen Dennis, I'm sorry. And your sister Lauren next to you. Kristen, how do you do it?
I don't know. My arm is so sore right now because we played 2 other games this week, and it was a real cold game last time, and so my arm's been sore, and today it took every ounce of energy in my body to throw out every pitch, and I'm just glad that we didn't go 21 innings. But.
So you're going to an ACC school. This is it for you. What a way to end it for a 4-year high school career.
It was I began it winning CIF, and I ended it winning CIF, and it's just a great feeling. Good way to go out. 2
championships, huh?
Yep.
So you get the RBI. I know that was a great feeling. What's the last thing you want to say to the rest of those who might be watching about playing high school softball?
It's a team sport. There's not one single individual that makes a team, and if you are a team and play as a team, you will win.
And that was exhibited tonight. What competitive. Let's talk to one of your teammates and sister. This is really special being a sister to a championship softball player. This has got to inspire you also.
Yeah, you know, I've looked up to my sister forever, and this has just been so exciting. I've been up with varsity for only 3 games, but, you know, I love it. It's just great.
Well, you contributed and your team focused. How was it to focus once it got into the extra innings for you?
It was kind of hard, you know. I just kept cheering, trying to keep the whole team in the game, trying to keep everyone up, not let down, you know, just keep everyone in the game and focused.
That was fun to be able to run the bases after she was able to get a base hit in one of the innings and stuff. Wasn't that fun?
Yeah, got to run for her. I got out, but that's okay.
All right, well, girls, congratulations and good luck in the future. Good luck at ACC Virginia.
Thank you very much.
How does it feel, girls, to win the championship of CIF?
Feels so good for our senior year. Oh my God, it's about time.
Tell us who you are.
I'm Kelly Fleming.
And you are?
I'm Ashley Way.
How's it feel?
It feels Oh my gosh. We know because
There are no words to describe. Absolutely no words that can describe how we feel right now.
That's great. That's great. It's, you know, a special feeling to be able to culminate something you've worked so hard for. And you are?
Jennifer Weaver.
And any last comments you want to make about being a champion?
Damn, we needed that.
Okay, and you are?
Natalie Heaton.
And Natalie, what did you think about when that run came across after a long, hard-fought championship? And they really played great, too.
I was just so relieved, and I knew we were going to win the whole time, but it just took a long time to get there. But we worked hard, and we deserved this. Definitely.
Well, thanks, girls, and congratulations again for winning the championship. Back with Christina Wade and Jennifer Schieber. Christina, you played soccer before, but you probably never thought you'd win a championship in soccer, so you decided to play softball, and you win a championship. How does this feel?
Feels pretty good. Very, good. I want to say one thing. Like, if this is Kristen, if you're watching this, I enjoyed knowing you since I was 2, and when you sat on me, you made me tough. And from now on, when you're gone and they're locking the crap out of my balls, thank you, because I'm tough now and I don't have to worry about it.
Okay, Jennifer Schieber, both pitchers were pitching a great game, but it came down to just who was going to be able to make contact and push something over the outfield and get a bloop here and get somebody in. That must have been a great feeling for you and your concentration in the game. Tell us about it.
Well, we just working together as a team. We've been working together for all season, and it's finally paid off because we deserve it more than anybody else does, and it felt so great to finally win something as big as this. It felt really good.
All right. Well, thank you very much, girls. Congratulations, and good luck in the future.
Thanks. Bye.
Okay, here with Katie Ossie and Stacy Dorning. Stacy, how does it feel?
It feels great. We worked so hard all season. This has been our goal, and we accomplished it because we were a team and we worked together. And this is what we deserved.
So you're going to be back next year?
Yes, definitely. I'm excited for another season as a Maverick.
All right. How many of your teammates are going to be back? Do you know? Most of them?
I think
about half, maybe.
5 seniors are leaving, and the rest of the team is staying. So it'll be a good team next year as well.
Well, good luck next year. And Katie Ossie, you played a great game out there defensively. How does it feel to finally be able to come up with a championship?
Oh, I've never felt like this before. I've never had a win that's felt so good, and I had no idea what to expect, and I had no idea it would be this fun.
You know, they played great defense. You guys played great defense, and it was just one of those almost like a heavyweight battle match. And it's just a battle of wills, and you guys were able to put the final pieces of that will for the season together. That's a great feeling.
Yeah, so we've been working so hard. I mean, this is like what it comes down to, and it's a lot of hard work just put together into one big will.
The coaching staff, what did they tell you coming into this game?
Well, they told us that we've been working real hard, and they just kept telling us that we deserved it, and they just kept supporting us and telling us that we'd worked real hard and just supported us when we needed it, and it was great.
Any final comments?
I love this year. It was so much fun. It's not going to be the same without my seniors.
I've never had a team like this before.
Well, congratulations, girls. Thanks.
Thank you.
I'm here with coach of the Mavericks, Mike Hill. Mr. Hill, 14 innings. What were you thinking?
God, please make it get over with soon. I mean, it was kind of like it was such a battle of wills, and you can only go on for so long. There's so much emotion going on back and forth between both teams. I mean, it was one of those great battles. It's kind of like a battle of the Titans. We started our season off playing those guys, and we finished our season. And they beat us the first time out this year, and we were fortunate enough to beat them tonight. And it was a great game. That's all there was to it. I mean, it was one of the best games I've ever seen in high school softball.
You guys had some excellent defense out there, making the big plays out in the outfield, also in the infield. You're pitching wonderful. Any words, any memorial words that you have for any of your players, or?
Well, you know what? I think that we have 5 seniors on the team who are 5 of our captains, and I think it was a testament to their leadership as far as holding the team together for that long. I mean, any tiny mistake can cost you a game in situations, especially when games run that long. And the 5 seniors have really held these girls together all year long, and they were doing the same thing tonight. Just keeping everybody pumped up, keeping everybody's spirits high, and if we could do anything, I'd dedicate it to those 5 girls.
Excellent, excellent game, Coach. Congratulations on your CIF win. Hope we can see you next year.
Yeah, we were here last year. We're here a lot. We like being here. Thanks.
Thank you very much. Okay, we're here with Desiree and Kiara. Ladies, 98, CIF Division I champions after 14 innings of 0-0 play. How'd you feel?
Unbelievable. I've never had a CIF title, but we've gotten close every year I've been here, and everybody worked so hard this year, and just everyone put their most, 100% effort into it, so we all deserved it, and we knew it, and just took a while to get it.
Coming out of that 7th inning, going into the 8th, still scoreless. What were you thinking? Were you thinking that you guys were going to try to come out and do it, or what were you thinking?
I was thinking we were going to do it. I had a feeling we were going to do it. We played tough defense all through the 14 innings, and we went up there, swung our bat. Some of us, didn't get hits in, but we still kept strong as a team, and we did it. I had a feeling we were going to do it. I knew we were going to do it.
A feeling going in at the beginning of the game you had?
Yeah.
I think everybody did.
Because we're strong, we're a good team. We know we can do it, or we knew we could do it. We did do it, and we just played tough the whole time, never let down.
Now y'all coming back again next year?
Yeah, we're both juniors, so we're going to be seniors next year.
We're going to be seniors next year.
Try it again.
Hopefully we'll be here next year, too.
Nice stepping stone, winning the 98, going into your senior year. Going to come back and look to take it again?
It's a great inspiration. Winning this makes you really want to go out and get it again.
Great job. Well, congratulations. Awesome playing, and we'll see you next year.
Thanks.
Final in 14 innings, La Costa, Canyon, the Lady Mavericks winning the championship 1-0 on just a great pitching matchup between Jessica Jenkins and Lauren Dennis. Dennis being the winner, but really Jenkins wasn't the loser. She pitched great.
Jenkins and Dennis both never quit in any of the 14 innings. They showed a lot of stamina, a lot of heart. Both teams, excellent play in the outfield and the defense. Just a couple of really well-matched teams, and after 14 innings, La Costa came out on top.
Well, we started wearing these kinds of things and stuff, and by now they're about ready to close the lights on us here at Triton Field, the campus of University of California at San Diego, which was a great place for championship CIF San Diego section high school softball from the women's variety. And I tell you what, it was one of the best softball games I've ever seen. Wasn't it for you, Clint?
After 14 innings of watching a game just like that, it's got to be one of the best softball games I've ever seen, and I'm glad I got to came out and catch it and was able to announce and sportscast this one for him.
Well, it was fun, Clint, and we'll have to do this again sometime.
I think we definitely should.
Take a little rest first, though. For Clint Bell, I'm Greg Porter saying goodbye from Triton Field at UCSD. Again, the champions of San Diego's Division I, La Costa, Canyon, the Lady Mavericks.